when one of the world's biggest YouTubers decides to build 10 schools? Well, you know it's going to be about a whole lot more than just bricks and mortar. MrBeast's latest project is a really fascinating look at philanthropy on a massive scale. So let's break down what he did and, more importantly, why it matters. To really get the scale of what we're talking about, you have to start with this number: 200 million. That's how many children around the world don't have access to a safe school. It's a staggering problem, and MrBeast's approach was about so much more than just construction. It was about totally changing lives.
And this was his mission statement right from the get-go. I mean, what a bold promise, right? With huge real-world stakes. The big question is, how do you even begin a project like this? Well, it all kicked off with a simple goal: build brand new, safe schools where they're needed the most. And the first stop on this pretty incredible global journey was a community in Ghana. Okay, the situation here was just dire. We're not just talking about an old, rundown building. This school was so dangerous that it had been officially condemned. Kids were trying to learn in a place that was, quite literally, a life-threatening hazard.
The transformation is just unbelievable. It went from a rust bucket that was waiting to collapse to a brand new, fully furnished school. And this isn't just about safety. It's about giving these kids a learning environment they can actually be proud of.
So this brings up a really crucial point. Is just building a school enough to guarantee a child gets an education? The team figured out pretty quickly that the answer is a resounding no.
And that's when the project really started to evolve. It became super clear that for a school to succeed, the community around it needs to be supported too. This is where the whole approach shifted to something much more holistic and, honestly, pretty innovative.
Turns out, the most urgent problem wasn't even the building itself. It was the water. You can't learn if you're sick, and this entire village was relying on a single, totally contaminated water source. Just let that sink in for a second. Nearly 80% of the population, including all the kids, had parasitic worms. This was a full-blown public health crisis.
So the solution had to be way bigger than just the school. They built a new well that provided clean water for the entire community, and they added modern bathrooms and sinks, bringing proper sanitation to the area for the very first time.
Okay, so with clean water secured, they didn't stop there. The project expanded again. The new goal was to build a sustainable ecosystem around the school to support the students for the long haul.
How do you get kids to actually show up to school and help them focus? You feed them. A brand new kitchen and 5 years of funding for free lunches led to a 10% jump in attendance. It's such a simple idea, but the impact is just massive.
I mean, the principal's reaction just says it all, doesn't it? This wasn't just about food, it was a lifeline for these students and a huge weight lifted off the entire community. It was about hope.
Of course, a great school needs great teachers, right? But the teachers here were spending a third of their salary just getting to and from work. The solution? Absolutely brilliant in its simplicity. Build them new homes right next to the school. This ensures they can stay, invest in the school, and become part of the community fabric.
So this holistic model they developed in Ghana, it basically became the blueprint for a global expansion. But, and this is really key, it was never a one-size-fits-all copy-paste solution. Each new location had its own unique set of challenges.
For example, over in Mexico, overcrowding was the big problem, so they built the town its very first high school. Then you go to the rainforests of Ecuador, and they had to build elevated flood-proof schools and a new bridge. In India, a new 3-story building and a bus tackled both overcrowding and a dangerous commute. Each solution was custom-built to solve the local needs.
Alright, so after all of this incredible work on a global scale, what was the actual impact? Let's take a look at the numbers.
The total investment across all 10 of these school projects came out to over $3 million. We're talking about a serious financial commitment to making a real, lasting difference. And that investment, it translates directly into human potential. These new schools will end up educating more than 18,000 students, creating this incredible ripple effect for generations to come. And this really captures the true legacy of the project. You know, it was never just about helping the students of today. It was about building the physical and social foundations that will serve these communities for a long, long time.
And this brings us to a final, pretty provocative question. What we've just seen is this powerful blend of massive online entertainment and very hands-on, holistic charity. Is this model of philanthrotainment the future of giving? Can influencers and creators actually become a major force for tangible, global good? The potential is just enormous, and it really challenges us to think differently about how we can all make an impact. What do you think?